I'm here in the central West End. Behind me is a building that was home to more than 250 people and 100 animals. Back in mid-July, a 5-alarm fire sent flames shooting into the sky as the 197-unit building burned. As people fled the building, more than 150 firefighters from around St. Louis City and St. Louis County battled the blaze. At the same time, the Humane Society of Missouri was also on the scene, providing rescue services to the pets in need.
It was a very warm, muggy night, July 17th of 2012, and I was told by one of my investigators that we had received a call from the fire department of a big fire at an apartment house at 3949 Lindell. The fire had fully engaged the entire apartment house through the roof line, and at that time the fire department seemed to think that there was approximately 100 animals that was in the building itself due to the fact that there was a pet-friendly environment and a lot of the students there had animals listed on their contracts.
I was out to dinner with 2 of my girlfriends who also live in the building and also have cats. And we were driving back and I got a text message from a friend of mine saying, "I hope that building on Lindell wasn't yours." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said there was a big fire. So we panicked and we drove as fast as we could. And the first thing that we all thought of was our cats and what was going to happen to them. And it was just an awful experience. We were hysterical, and just seeing our home just burn in flames.
She had such a hard life, and I'm about to move. I'm moving in like 9 days, and she was going to have a yard. I just hope she can be okay so she can play in the yard.
I was, near Skinker, and driving home on Forest Park toward Lindell, I could see smoke coming up behind the Chase. Closer I got, the more it seemed like that smoke could be coming from my apartment, and I had visions of, charging into the building and saving my dog, but of course, I couldn't even get anywhere close to the building. They made me park, and so I parked my car and walked a couple blocks, and I could hear the radio chatter in there and just heard that the fire was not contained, the roof was going, they thought, floors were collapsing, and I was just thinking, where's my dog? And
when I first got there, it was chaos. It was just utter chaos. Streets were blocked off. There was fire department apparatus everywhere. There was ambulances standing by. There were streets blocked off by police lines. Nobody was getting in, nobody was coming out. We had, within a 1-hour time frame, approximately 8 people on the scene at Lindell and Van Eventer. We had our big rescue trailer. We had 2 Sprinter vans. We had 2 cargo vans, 2 pickup trucks. We had crates, we had water, we had all of the equipment that we were going to need in order to receive the animals and then bring them back here on Mackland. At the same time, the people here at the shelter were setting up an emergency shelter. So by 9:30 that night, we were ready for 100+ animals. The entire roof of the structure was fully engulfed. There was smoke everywhere. They were pumping water on this fire from 5 different pumpers. The fire department said that nobody was going in. The fire was still breaking out. They were still trying to get it contained. There was no way that this building was going to be safe. So we waited, and we sat there and we staged for about 6 hours before we were able to get the first dog out.
I heard peripherally that they were trying to look for animals and get them out. So I sent an email to our, emergency person in the building, to look for my cat. And I put out, the Humane Society has a website where you can report a missing cat. So I described him and reported him there.
I remember a lady came up to me saying that her dog was in the building and that she couldn't get into the building to get it because of the fire. And I said, "Give me your apartment number and your contact information, and we will get it to the right people, and when we find your dog, we will get it back to you."
Nora was brought to our investigators out on the scene, and we placed her in our air-conditioned unit to where she could get a little bit of comfort. Brought her back here to the Humane Society, and we were able to get a line on the owner. Contacted the owner, and the next day the owner came by and picked Nora up. She was in great shape, even though she went through everything that she had gone through.
The person from the Humane Society that was on the scene said that she was there until 3 in the morning, and she remembered when the firemen took him out because they thought that he was so cute, and they were impressed by how big he was. So she said, you know, I know exactly which cat he is, and he's so sweet, and you know, we have him. I was a little worried, actually, that somebody would come and try to adopt him. It was just like so emotional for me to see him and see that he was okay in a time when everything was so unstable for me and I basically was homeless, that at least, you know, I could take care of what I needed to do and know that he was in good hands with them. The Humane Society gave me food, a litter box, cat litter, a scoop for the litter box. They gave me some toys for him, really, you know, bowls, everything. They were so nice. After all they did for him and taking care of him for days and everything they gave me, they didn't charge me anything, even for a vet examined him, and there was no cost to me at all, which was really, really nice.
In a situation as this fire, we don't get tax money from federal, state, city, local government. All of this is funded by our donors. We had 8 people on scene, but we had about 30 people back here at the shelter itself doing emergency setups, waiting for triage, setting up individual kennels. Each kennel had towels, water bowls, food bowls, toys. I mean, everything was set up for these animals when we brought them back. And there's a lot of man hours that are involved in this. And it takes a lot of funding to be able to put on a rescue of this size. And we didn't know exactly how we were going to be coming about and what type of scenario we were going to be going into. So when we do that, we have to plan for the worst and hope for the best.